Hello, Teshin USA here, and I am here with my little friend, the Drinky Bird. Now, he is extremely fascinating. This little guy has an amazing history that dates back to China in the 19th century. I'm going to be explaining how he's put together, the science behind it, which this is used in colleges to teach thermodynamics, and I'll even tell you some fun facts about him. Alright, so let's start with the history. So what I'm going to ask myself, so what a lot of historians do, is what was the first one? Now there's a patent out there that uses acetone by Arthur M. Hillary, but he wasn't the first one. I did some research. Most things say that's Miles V. Sullivan, and he was the guy who understood how it worked. He made this on sidelines as a toy, but he was a well-educated scientist, but he was not the first. That's what 90% of the sources out there will tell you. The real one was actually from 19th century China, and they were called Tico baublebirds. They're real antiques, and they're kind of hard to come by these days. But the Chinese didn't exactly understand how they worked, like fully. So Miles V. Sullivan, they give him the credit because he actually understood how it worked. Now, this puzzled people, but eventually Sullivan released it, and it did change points of view of science. It is not perpetual motion, it is a heat engine. So let me tell you how this bird is put together. So there are two glass bulbs, as you can see, the head and the base of the bird. And then there's this glass straw. The glass straw is extended through the bottom of the bird, but not the top. And then liquid is added, is frozen, and most of the air is vacuumed out. That's an very important detail. And then the decorations are added. Now the decorations, they might look not important to you, but they're actually very essential, especially the fabric. Now, the tie, not so much. The hat is really just to cover up a tube where the air was vacuumed out. The fabric, it absorbs water to help the science work. It cools the head. And, of course, the legs help it rotate. That's the most obvious thing. Now, is the water essential, or is it just for part of the decoration? Now, if we tip the bird in, it'll probably continue for about 75 minutes, but eventually it will stop. So it is essential, but why is it essential? Well, does the water make the liquid rise somehow? Sort of. The water, it kind of cools the methylene chloride vapor in the head, and it decreases the pressure, the vapor pressure in the head. And once the vapor pressure in the bottom gets higher, the liquid starts being forced up the bird, and once it goes all into the top, it becomes top heavy, and it tips over to take a drink. And once it's done that, there's going to be a little hole in the tube, and that's a very important part. When the birds are being made, they have to make sure that there's enough liquid that there's a little hole in the bottom, that when it's tilted at a 90 degree angle from where it is, there's going to be a hole from where it's drinking, because that allows the liquid to rush all the way back down to the very base of the bird, and then the bird becomes bottom heavy, it goes down, and it repeats its cycle over and over and over again. Now, if you're still confused, there's a similar example to this. A drinking straw. When you suck on it, it creates a region of pressure within the straw. This makes the outside pressure greater, forcing your beverage upward. If you tilt the straw at a specific angle, also, the liquid doesn't completely cover the bottom. So the liquid doesn't completely cover the bottom. The liquid will flow down because now you're sucking on, well, the air and not the liquid. So why is acetone, or the methylene chloride, which most versions do use methylene chloride the most, but why is it used? It is, well, it's extremely volatile liquid, which means it has weak intermolecular bonds inside of the molecule, which means that it'll cool very fast, making it very important for the bird. Now, this bird has also been on a lot of movies, pop culture, and it isn't just known for the nuclear meltdown in Springfield from The Simpsons. It's a pretty famous scene. In every Alien and Predator movie, there's one lying around somewhere. Like, every single one, I can guarantee you. I've seen one in every one. It's been in Megamind, Ted Lasso, Toy Story, many other ones. This bird can symbolize continuation, science, and most importantly, how a little idea like this bird can be turned into something simple but great. The drinking bird drinks faster in whiskey because it condenses into a vapor faster. Similarly, in a vacuum chamber, it can go even faster, like one drink every 2 seconds kind of fast. Also, methylene chloride isn't safe. If you touch it, it can really hurt you. So if this bird ever cracks open, make sure you take lab precautions so you don't hurt yourself. Einstein studied this bird for over 6 months from pure observation. He eventually conceded and took it apart. Then he figured it out, but he was confused for so long. And that's proof right there that this bird isn't as simple as it looks. It delves into one of the most complicated subjects in science. This is just a simple heat engine. And this is why it is used in colleges to teach thermodynamics. I hope that by me explaining this to you, you decide to delve into similar things like the bird, which have a simple appearance but have more things behind them. And I hope that you've grown to like this bird and maybe get one for your own. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.